Good afternoon, everyone. Hope the start of your Affiliate Summit East is going well and check-in was good. Good flights. My name is Jessie Morgan, and today this session is designed just to give you some ideas on how to grow your program. And also, I think there might have been a typo in the notes, so I just want to just go over the session again. It's how to become the merchant publishers want you to be. So if there's any confusion there, hopefully you're in the right place. Also, if I could just get a show of hands who is actually a merchant here, and just to know, got one merchant out there, all right, two, and publishers out there. Networks, all right, awesome. Well, I would like to introduce our panelists here. I'll actually let them introduce themselves and say a little bit about themselves and who they're with. So, okay.
Hi there. So my name is Gabe Carreras, and I work for Cartera Commerce. I've been in the affiliate space for about 10 years now, managing different merchant accounts. And just to give a little background on Cartera, we run loyalty programs, so basically miles, points, and cashback-based programs for mainly banks and airlines.
Hi, and my name is Joan Alpogianis. I've also been in the affiliate space about 10 years. I am with LinkShare. I've been on the network side about six and a half years, and I've been on the client side managing affiliate programs as well.
All right, thanks, guys. And again, my name is Jessie Morgan. I am a merchant for magazines.com and cleanerfilters.com. And I'm happy to be here. All right, so just a quick intro on kind of a description on what this session was designed to talk about and some things that we'll probably cover and spark ideas on. So if you're here to just learn ways to grow your program and kind of take yourself to the next level in your program, hopefully we'll, again, just spark some discussion and ideas today that you can walk away with to really change and grow your program. So why are we here? Again, this session is just designed to share proven affiliate strategies from a merchant perspective, a network perspective, and a publisher. So hopefully you'll just get insider tips from all three of us. And we will give you 8 little nuggets to walk away with. And so why should you care? Why are you here, and why should you even care about this session? So if you're looking to, again, grow your program, as humans, I feel like we just need constant reminders. So will I say anything that's magical today? Probably not. But again, we'll just, it's just sparking these ideas and just reminders to take a fresh take on maybe things that you're already doing, and just gather or collaborate with others that are in this industry. And then if you're trying to change something in your program, something I live by is live, learn, and try something new. So hopefully we'll give you some new things to try out today. And then just learn how to strengthen your ties with publishers. Again, I'm a merchant, so it's very important to me, the relationships that I build in my program. And then also just to gain trust. You might build the relationships, but you have to retain them and continue to keep those relationships growing. All right, so again, how can you ensure your day-to-day responsibilities don't get derailed by your productivity? And here we'll just start off with kind of a blueprint of things that you can do in your program and things that we've learned along the way that work for me and that Joan and Gabe both have seen work in their programs as well. First, I think it's going to be a given, is build relationships in your channel. So, my best education in this industry has come from others that I've worked with. It's getting to know their names, getting to know what works for their program. You don't have to know their kids' names, but, have a little charm, get back to them. And just be very responsive. I think it's these relationships that really ensure maybe you getting a placement or, learning about an opportunity on a site that you wouldn't have known of, if you didn't have day-to-day phone calls or regular email communication. Really just engage with your publishers or, merchants, vice versa. And I really feel like that's the stepping stone to growing your program to the next level. So with that, we'll stop there. And then Joan, so what network advice could you give to a merchant on keeping the lines of communication open with publishers and building effective relationships?
Well, I think you hit it on the head when you talked about having phone calls. I think one of the big things these days is it's very easy for people to do communication through email. And so what Jessie does a great job with is she actually picks up the phone and she has one-on-one communication with a lot of her top publishers. So I highly recommend, and even for the publishers that are in the audience, because I think we have a majority of our audience is publishers, it's really important for you to have conversations one-on-one with your top advertisers and develop that one-on-one relationship. And then also what Jessie and I do a lot with is we develop communication strategies. We group our publishers. So for new publishers coming on board, we actually have a 30, 60, 90-day communication strategy where we help them and give them the best offers and kind of guide them through the magazines.com process and try to set them up for success. And then for publishers that have been around for a while, we set up, again, another communication strategy where maybe they're not generating traffic and try to understand why they're not and set up activation campaigns. So it's all about making sure that you have the right communication strategy in place.
Thank you, Joan. All right, so the next thing that I feel like is really important and affiliate nugget that we will share here is make decisions based on data. I definitely feel like intuition can steer you in the right direction. However, it's data that can really define your priorities and confirm your assumptions. So, dig into reporting, find out what's working best for a publisher, what's your top selling products, who's declining, who is, increasing, and why, and are your goals in line with your publishers, and determine that based on your KPIs. So just really look into the data to determine, really what's working for you and what's working for a publisher. And also, on top of that, just managing to profitability. So, the things that are working, are they profitable for you? Are they just driving top line revenue, or, is, everything making sense for your program? I think it's just, digging in and taking the time to really ensure that the data is driving your decisions, versus on just what you think or what, someone else thinks. And I think that's very important. And then so just going to Gabe, in your experience, how important is data when proposing a successful promotional strategy for a specific merchant?
I think data is everything. So you have to look back and go ahead and know your product, know what you're trying to accomplish for the merchant, understand what their goals are. Go ahead and know, am I trying to drive an increase in average basket size? Am I just trying to drive traffic to them because they want, additional branding, exposure? What are their real goals? And go ahead and digging into that data can tell you stories on, what type of placements can help drive certain things based on if there's, potentially a theme to an email, or if there's some type of promotion they can go ahead and expose to an audience that may be the perfect fit for them. So understanding that data is super important.
Thanks, Gabe. Agreed. All right. The next thing, have confidence in your tracking. I think this is, again, one of those givens that we all depend on and lean on. However, sometimes we forget how important it is to both sides and to both parties. So setting up your links and your offers for your product's promotion is how you generate revenue in this channel. So ultimately, that's why we're all here today, is because we want to generate revenue. And whether it's for our own business, for our brand, for our publisher, merchant, whoever we are, we're all here to make money. So I think it's very imperative to ensure that your tracking is set up, working. Also, if something comes up, any type of tracking issue, you need to identify it quickly, ensure that you're communicating any issues with, either party, merchant, publisher, and then once it's corrected and the issue is resolved, you need to communicate that as well. So even if you don't have the answer, just make sure everyone is in the loop, because There's nothing more fearful to, I think, either parties is a tracking issue. So just be on top of it. So Joan, in your experience at LinkShare, do you have an example where a publisher had a tracking issue and how it was handled effectively?
I've had a recent issue probably in the last 6 months with actually a merchant that had a tracking issue. And again, I know there's a common theme here. It is all about communication, and it is all about making sure that you let your top publishers know, again, by picking up the phone, setting up meetings, and letting them know immediately what the tracking issue is, and then as much detail as possible as you can possibly share with them. And then what we do also is we actually get in our network development team has a huddle every day, and we make sure that we're on that huddle to advise all the account managers on our network side if there's a potential tracking issue with one of our advertisers, so that they can go out and tell all of their managed publishers of what's going on. So we're not only hitting the publishers from the account teams, the client side, but we're also hitting them from the publisher side. So it's about communication, whether it be through telephone calls, through emails, through network side, through client side. Again, it's just making sure that, as you said, Jesse, you're telling them what's happened and also kind of closing the loop to make sure when it's been fixed.
Great. Thanks, Joan.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do not take a cookie cutter approach. All publishers are not created equal, nor should they be treated this way. So, I think as a merchant, I really try to take the time along with, some of the work that I do with LinkShare, and just to determine what product or promotions work best for a publisher based, again, back on data. Also, just going and checking their website to see, have they had a website change? Ask them, I see this homepage right here, or I see this, main banner. What are the results for that? What is working on your site that, I can piggyback off of and get it to work for me as well? And ask them questions, what are the trends on your site? Ask your network, what are the trends that you're seeing in terms of promotions or offers? Find out what's working so you can determine if it will work for you as well. Also, ask the publisher, their target audience, so you can tailor not only your offer, but your promotion and also the creative to the right person. So I think it's just taking a fresh approach on all aspects of that versus, just giving them, what other channel on your team or your marketing team is doing, or, just tailor everything to specific publishers. And just ensure that you're presenting your best offer and using the most up-to-date, promotional theme or creative. So, Gabe, in your experience, how a merchant can stand out, or how can a merchant stand out just by tailoring a promotion for a specific publisher?
Well, I think that putting together, even if it's just vanity codes, to go ahead and give your audience the warm and fuzzy feel. It could be an offer that a lot of other publishers have out there, but just making sure that if the merchant's willing to go ahead and go a step, beyond the normal, to go ahead and give you something that could potentially convert well, perform well, help with help drive the conversion of everything. That's it's always a great thing. In our case, with loyalty programs, increasing the commission that we're being paid also affects the pass back to the consumer. So that's a huge thing for different marketing promotions, to be able to tailor together a promotional offer along with some type of mileage or cash back or point back increase, more than they would normally receive. So
thanks, Gabe.
Yeah.
All right. So every presentation I've ever been to, I feel like there's been a cat or a video, so we threw that in just for you guys. Have the answers. Notice I didn't say have all the answers, but you should be able to answer, simple questions about your affiliate network, your offers, what promotions you're running, any of your current, deals that you have, and any customer service inquiries. So that to me is really important. At magazines.com, we have a customer service team that drives all of those calls, and that's one thing that's, a high priority list for us, that we get everything taken care of quickly. So me knowing, if we have any issues, transactional issues, is very important to myself and my team. So I try to really know what's going on with all working parts of my program. So if someone calls me and says, I can't find out how to get the link in the LinkShare network, so I am pretty apt to be able to go into the publisher dashboard and also know where to get our offers or our links or how the product feed works. Also, I think it's very important to have, the correct information on your website. Make sure your prices are right and that you gave the publisher the correct information as well, so they can pass that to the customer. And then also know your terms and conditions. So if you're a merchant and you don't allow search bidding and someone says, hey, can I bid on your search terms? And you're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And then you, a couple weeks later, find out that you don't allow that in your program. That's not going to give a very good customer experience or, a good relationship building with that particular merchant either. So know your stuff. For Joan. How important do you feel it is for merchants to be able to answer questions and know their brand?
That's very important, because many times it's very important to know what offers and what promotions are resonating in other channels, because if they're doing really well within your display channel or within other types of media, then most likely they're going to do very well within the affiliate channel as well. So it's very important for you to know, not only, again, what's doing well in other channels, what percentage of your business is affiliate versus your other digital channels, and as much as you can share with the publishers, you should be able, you should share that, because that's only going to help them with trying to grow your business as well, but especially knowing what works well in other channels.
Thanks, Joan. So the next one, I don't think this is going to come to us as a surprise to anyone in this room. It just goes to show that, just be accessible. When your publishers or merchants, network, whoever it is, calls you or emails you, just answer emails or phone calls, in a timely manner where, you can be top of mind for a particular publisher or merchant, and just be there where you can provide convenience for someone. Maybe they want a link, or maybe they want creative, and they need it for something, tomorrow. Just be there, be accessible, because honestly, if you're not, someone else will be. So I think it's just important. And Gabe, have you seen merchants miss out on opportunities just because they did not respond to an email or a phone call?
Absolutely. So, there are going to be different marketing opportunities that are going to pop up last minute. It happens to all of us, and being able to have that tight communication with your advertisers, that's key. If you can go ahead and, as Jesse has here, go ahead and share your IM, be able to instant messages back and forth and everything, that's a great way to do it. Always have your phone on you. Go ahead and put your mobile phone in your email signature. Whatever you have to do, go ahead and never miss out on great opportunities, because publishers obviously have them and they do come up last minute. So,
thanks, Gabe. All right. Always be recruiting. This can be interpreted a number of ways. However, I think it's really important, just as the affiliate space has a constant churn. So as many of you know, one day you might have a top publisher and the next it could be someone else. There's always, new sites that are merging, or, new guys coming into the space that are doing really awesome. So it's just, I think, a good practice to just be aware of market trends within the affiliate network and how they affect your overall brand. So there may be a new blogger network that, promotes fashion stuff, and you have a fashion site, and they're doing awesome, just content-driven, opportunities. So just be aware of those opportunities, and just always recruit and meet people and network. However, I will say, always remember to recruit quality over quantity. So you could have 6,000, and in my case, I'm a merchant, I could have 6,000 publishers in my program and only 5 of them drive sales. So, I don't want to have 1 million people that I have to touch base with. No offense to anyone in my program. I'm sure they're all amazing and do amazing things. However, all of them may not be best for my customer and my brand, so I have to take all of that in consideration. So Jim, how can a merchant manage current active publishers while also recruiting for new publishers to grow their program?
So I'll flip that. As far as recruitment goes, for bringing on new publishers, we work very closely with our business development team. They're actually very proactive about reaching out to the account teams on a weekly basis to bring to us new opportunities based on whatever vertical our advertisers are in. So we're very fortunate to have such a very proactive business development team in-house. And then as far as working with optimization, similar to what we talked about earlier, we have a lot of activation and campaigns in place for keeping the current publishers in the program engaged, whether it be activation campaigns with incentives or whether it be just reaching out to them and having scheduled calls on, every month or every 6 weeks. But we do have specific campaigns in place.
Awesome, thank you. All right, the next affiliate nugget here will be promote wisely. I think all of you are smart folks. You're here at this session, so that definitely, you're on the top of my list. And I think you just need to work within your media budget to promote the right places with the right publishers. So, and also just to touch base on that are incremental. So if you have the capabilities to be able to have any type of attribution, maybe it's something that you have internally, or there are a lot of companies that do this. We actually use Convertro, so it's the one that I'm familiar with. But just being able to kind of digest the click path data and really know whether a placement that you did was really incremental. So did it, only drive, last, closing clicks, or, was someone throughout the whole purchase path? Was the customer, engaged throughout that, and just really able, going back to the data, being able to really just digest and, know what it means and make the right decisions based on that. Also, can you forecast appropriately based on that incrementality, and also what you feel like a promotion should do? Don't just, unless you are just driving top line revenue, don't just, buy bulk media placements and, hope that they drive sales, and then you don't worry about the rest of it. If you do that, then great, but probably most of us in this room don't. If we are buying media, you want to make sure it's profitable and shows incrementality. So, going to Gabe, what does the publisher look for in a good promotion?
So the advertisers, a lot of times they're spending money on these placements, paying a slotting fee and everything. So we want to make sure that that they're seeing ROI out of it and that it's going to perform. A lot of times what I'll look at is if the advertiser is going to go ahead and extend some type of exclusive promotion or something great promotion for us, I'll go ahead and test out multiple placements at the same time. So they're putting their marketing dollars behind this. You want to make sure that it performs. You want to make sure that the ROI is there. Everybody wants to make money. Is the offer going to resonate well with through email, or is it going to perform better if you go ahead and you put it into a site placement that's going to run for a longer period of time? What is the product that they're trying to promote? So, really knowing what type of promotions perform well through your sites is key.
Absolutely.
Jesse, can I add
Yeah,
to that?
absolutely.
On the network side, what we do for Jesse then is we also would take Gabe's placements and we put them into a media tracker, and we also will marry it with Jesse's internal data to look to see from an ROAS or an ROI perspective whether or not the placement did well and met her expectations as well. So that's another edge or another piece of it that we'll take on, so that the following year, we can see whether or not that's another placement.
Absolutely.
But Gabe always does a great job. So.
Going back to that history is key too. If you did something in the past, don't repeat it if it didn't work. So just we are coming to the end. So just a recap on just the affiliate nuggets that we've shared with you today that, that worked with us and hopefully will help you make a change maybe for your program today and help you grow sales for the future. So just a quick recap: build relationships, make decisions based on data, have confidence in your tracking, do not take a cookie cutter approach, have the answers, be accessible, always be recruiting, and promote wisely. So again, I think those are just all really key things that probably the majority of you in this room are doing to one effect or another. And hopefully you'll continue to grow and see results. So here I've just provided our email addresses or Twitter if you want to get in touch with any of us up here on this panel today. We appreciate all of you coming today. Thank you again. And if anyone has any questions, I will open the floor for questions at this time. So you can shoot. All right. Thank you guys again.